back. Well, you would have seen a moment ago an explanation around what is happening at the driving license centres, driving license testing centres in Gauteng. You heard the view from Robert Chandler, an explanation of some of the technicalities of all of this and why it is that there have been protests which have led to the closure of these centres by the National Driving Schools Association of South Africa. Pillay Thesigan is the lawyer representing the National Driving Schools Association of South Africa. Thesigan, good afternoon to you. Why do the people that you represent, why are they holding protests against an online booking system which should be better for everybody, and doing it in such a way which is making it impossible for anyone to get a driver's license card?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Grooters. Good afternoon to your viewers. I take this opportunity to thank you for allowing my clients the opportunity to, as we would want to call it now, is set the record straight. My clients are not necessarily opposed to the online booking system. My clients, in fact, welcome such an approach. But my clients have one contention. The contention of my clients is that the introduction of the online booking system that is necessary for making appointments for driver's license, making appointments for learners, is totally unacceptable to the extent, and I'm going to slow down there and say, to the extent that it only allows for such bookings to take place online. Naturally, if the online booking system is exclusively used, it simply means that a significant portion of our population and general public will not be able to access such booking. And I think this is what has been lost, if I may call it, in the translation. What the department has failed to make known to the public is that if you are not able to book online, make a pre-booking online, you cannot access any of the services that they offer. Now, these services are basic services. And I'm even going to go as far as saying that these are critical services. Critical to the extent that in order for people to be upwardly mobile, to be economically active, one would need to first get a driver's license to make yourself as such. Now, the current system, if it was exclusively online and the booking can only be done exclusively online, you would need the following. You would need a device that will allow you to access the system.
I understand the point. I think I've allowed you to make the point. I've got a few questions just to sort of narrow this down a bit. Are your members booking driver's license slots? Are they booking appointments on behalf of other people?
Yeah, the option to request our clients to make such a booking is available to their clients. In other words, it's not exclusively their purview to do so. The client elects whether or not he would require the driving school to do so on his behalf. So it's not exclusively their purview, it's not exclusively something that they do. This is at the request of the client. And unfortunately, the way the system has been designed, they are unable to do so on behalf of their clients. Their clients have to...
Thesigan, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. I understand some of that Latin. When I said, are your members booking slots on behalf of other people, if I understood you correctly, you said yes. That's what they're doing, right?
Yes.
Is it legal for them to do so?
Well, it has always been legal for them to do so. This has been the practice, the tradition that has been in place all along, that people can, the driving schools can book for their clients, should their clients desire such.
Okay,
it has always been legal.
So then the economic problem here for your clients, for the driving schools, is that they would lose the business model which relies on them being allowed to book slots on behalf of other people. That's the risk. That's the real interest that's being threatened here.
No, the real interest being threatened, you must understand, booking a driver's license or booking a learner's for that matter is one part of the process. Now, if the majority of our people cannot book for such services, naturally it will affect our clients and their ability, rather the consequences that my client have faced as a result of having a system that doesn't allow the general public to make such bookings. So it's not the online booking per se that's the problem. It's the fact that it's exclusively reserved for people who have such connectivity. And unfortunately, we cannot shy away from the fact that the majority of our people are to an extent destitute. They cannot afford such services. They cannot afford such connectivity. And the problem that my clients have is, what steps has the department taken to mitigate the consequences of such an implementation?
Okay.
And unfortunately, the department, is just unfortunate that the department is not here.
All right.
I would have loved to have answered that question.
Well, Thesigan, I've got some questions for you to continue with in the meantime, in the absence of the department.
Yes.
The Gauteng Provincial MEC for Transport is investigating corruption in these centres. The National Transport Department has said they believe there's corruption in these centres. And let me put it plainly so that we can get your response on the record. To my mind, the allegation against you is this, against your clients is this. It's not so much that they're just booking slots. It's that they have access to slots other people, myself, other general members of the public, do not have, because I would not pay for it. What I'm trying to get to is that the claim against you, to put it very plainly, is that there is a corrupt relationship between officials in these driving license centres and the people whom you represent. What's your response to that claim?
I think specifically targeting the clients that I represent as the authors of criminal conduct, or the persons who perpetrate such conduct, is unfair. My clients have at all given times ensured that they conduct themselves within the confines of the law. If there is corruption, I don't believe that the introduction of an online system that excludes the general public is justified. There can be no rational connection between saying, I want to avoid corruption, and as such, I now want to exclude the general public in order to achieve that objective.
It's not members of the general public that are protesting. It's only your clients. Isn't that the point? So it's not the general public who are saying, I can't book for a driver's license because I don't have data or I don't have a phone. It's only your clients.
I would tend not, Mr. Groothuis, with all due respect, not to agree with you there. The general public is definitely being affected.
But they're not the ones protesting.
Their voices haven't been heard. Yeah, their voices haven't been heard as yet. And unfortunately, the ones who are most affected are the ones who don't have a voice. And that's the general public that doesn't have access to such services, that don't have such a voice. So the generalization that is being suggested, that it's my clients who are corrupt, and that it's my clients that are the only ones that are protesting, is actually a misdirection, and it's not true.
Okay, so if your clients are so law-abiding, why are they holding a protest in such a way as to force the closure, it must be an illegal closure, of these centres? I mean, surely, if they respect the law, they'll have their protest peacefully, far away from these centres, just outside, but they will allow other people, law-abiding people who want to go and book their own driving licenses, who want to go and book their own slots, you would allow them to go and do that. But that's not what's happening on the ground, is it? These centres are closed as a result of the protest of your clients.
Mr. Groothuis, again, we are now dealing with a generalization. My clients have unequivocally stated that they do not condone any acts of violence, they do not condone any acts of disrupting the public's ability to access those services. And that has come out very, very clearly in a public and a media statement that we have issued this morning. Even yesterday, we received a court order that required that in the event that there is protest and that the protests become disjointed, become disruptive, that we are injuncted from continuing, or interdicted rather, from continuing such activity. We have given the undertaking that in as much as we don't agree that we are perpetuating such acts, we agree that we will comply with the court order until we are given an opportunity to then respond to the allegations that are made. So our clients are not, engaging in hooliganism. In fact, our clients have approached us as lawyers to articulate their views and articulate their concerns through the courts and through our judicial system. So to argue that our clients, or to suggest that our clients are hooligans, I think it's disingenuous, and I don't think it's fair to them. Because if they were indeed such persons of such ilk, I don't think they would have appointed us as legal representatives to advance their arguments.
Thesigan Pillay, I appreciate the time and the response. Thank you very much indeed. The lawyer for the National Driving Schools Association of South Africa.